Welcome to Heartland Dual Sport. In today's video, we're going to be taking the second leg of the trip home from Michigan. So let's get to the video. Again, thanks for tuning in to Heartland Dual Sport. We're going to be doing this video like we've done several of our last adventure videos, where I'm going to be playing the riding and whatnot in the background, and I'm going to be telling you a story to go along with the video. Today it's just basically a recap. As you know, we left camp a little bit late yesterday, and if you haven't seen that video, I'd like to encourage you to click over and watch that, because we go over some of the details of why we're completely satisfied with the Honda, why we are completely satisfied with the KLR 650 and how it meets our needs as we are today. So again, in this video, we're going to pick up at camp. And yesterday we didn't really get into it, but we stopped and stayed at another campground. We stayed at another state park campground on the way home, and this story is actually going to lead up from basically when I rolled into camp. When I rolled into camp, it wasn't an extremely crowded campground, and I got there and I was tired, I was hot, I was ready to get off the bike. And essentially the lady, when I was checking in, she said, "Where do you want to go ride around?" I said, "No, I just give me a spot. All I need is a flat spot to set up my tent, and for that matter, as long as I can even set it up right beside I just want electricity, that way I can charge my stuff." So got a camp spot, go around, ride around into the campground, and I find it, and to my surprise, I'm camped next to a young couple, actually two young couples, and they've got two little dome tents set up already. They've got a little campfire going, and you could tell by the look on their face when I rolled up that it's like, oh boy, what are we in for with this guy? So I do my normal deal. I back my little bike up into the camp spot and I start tearing it down. Less than 20 minutes, I've got my camp set up, and I'm sitting in my little Joey chair, for lack of better words, and enjoying the camp. And this young man comes over and he's like, "Sir," he said, we're grilling hot dogs right now on the grill. Would you like a grilled hot dog?" And I was like, man, that was very, very thoughtful. And I politely said, "No thank you, I've got my tuna. I'm going to eat my tuna here in a little bit, and I'm just trying to watch my weight." Anyhow, so we get to talking, and he asked me where I'm from, and I said, "Well, I'm from Texas." And he said, "Well, you're a long ways from home." And I was like, "Yes, I am." I said, "I'm actually on my way home, and I just got back from riding all the way up to the Great Lakes," and kind of told him a little bit of the story about that trip and on the way home now. And you could tell that he was really intently listening and was extremely interested in this motorcycle adventure trip that I was currently on, and basically wrapping up at the tail end of this trip. And we continued to talk for a little bit, and that's just another one of the things that I really, really enjoy about moto camping and taking these adventures, is because you get to meet some really, really nice people along the way. Again, after we got done, and it wasn't a real long conversation, but we just had a good time visiting about the bike, talking about the trip, and how efficiently my camp was set up. He said he was impressed to see that I got camp set up so quickly. A little while later, and it's getting closer to dusk, they've still got their campfire. I'm actually kind of sitting on the corner of the patio, and I'm not listening to them, or even I'm enjoying the popping sounds from the fire and a little bit of campfire smoke that I can smell. And otherwise, I'm leaving them young people alone, and they're leaving me alone. And then, like I say, a little while later, he come over and he's like, "Mister," he's like, we're doing s'mores. Would you like a s'more?" And again, I politely said, I truly appreciate it. It sounds delicious. I'm just trying to keep an eye on my weight. And just, again, I can't reiterate how much fun it is to kind of be out here, and even though you feel like you're potentially alone at a campground, how you'll end up meeting other nice people that are just like we are. I mean, they're curious about the bikes, they're curious about the adventures, and they're just nice people. And it was just a nice relief, relaxing campground experience for me. And the next day when I woke up, we started heading home. Again, there's going to be nothing great on this trip home. It did get hot. The one thing that I will point out, and it's going to be more of a safety deal than anything, you guys know that I've talked about the tire pressure management system. On the way home, it got so hot when I was going through Arkansas. The temperatures were exceeding 100 degrees, and I got to noticing my tire pressure was extremely high and my tires were hot. So I did make more stops on the way home. I'm going to give credit to the tire pressure management system. We have done a video on this in the past, and I can link to it right there, and you guys can watch that video. But I will say this, one of our other members on the Gen 3 tribe recently posted a comment. He's actually on an adventure trip right now, and I want to say it's a 2 or 3 week adventure. And when he gets home, Lee, if you have time, I do want to have an interview with you, because you've done something special on your trip that I haven't seen other people do. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to do an interview and us do a video together about some of your ideas on your trip that helped with the expenses, and I think you've come up with some great stuff, and I want to include that in a video as well. But where I'm going with this is Lee actually had a flat on his front tire. The tire went down extremely quickly, and I specifically asked him, I said, Lee, did you get that tire pressure management system? His trip that he was on was long enough that he had to get new tires put on, and he's upwards of, let's just say, Pennsylvania area right now, and he's also from East Texas area as well. He had his tires already purchased. They were at the dealership. Part of his trip, he knew that he was going to go in and get them replaced. The tires are less than a week old. He's getting off of a fast road. I'm assuming the speeds are 60, 65 plus when his front tire went down. He didn't crash. He nearly went down. Obviously, it was a very stressful situation. He ended up having to call AAA or whoever. He called a wrecker to tow his bike to the shop. Luckily, he came out unscathed. But again, I can't brag on the tire pressure management system, because it may give you the opportunity or a heads up. In my case, my tires were getting really hot. Was I getting close to a blowout situation or scenario? I can't answer that because I didn't have a blowout. But what I did do is I kept watching it the whole time, especially in the extreme heat, and I made more frequent stops. It didn't take much more than 10 or 15 minutes, guys, and the tires were cooled off back down to a normal cool level. The air pressure would go down as well, and again, I think that's just a huge safety deal, and it's something to think about when you're on these adventures, especially when you're riding in extreme heat and those conditions. They're just they're a recipe for problems, and again, 40 bucks saves you some road rash. It's well worth it in my mind. So again, guys, if you like our video, give us a big thumbs up. If there's something in this video, especially talking about the tire pressure management or something like that you think that I forgot or left out, or you would like to add, please comment down below and share with us some of your ideas and what you're doing to help maintain your tire safety and overall health and well-being safety. If your rubber side's down, you're doing good, guys. Again, feel free to comment below. Let us know some of your ideas, what you're doing in these situations, and know that it's greatly appreciated. We appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. As always, may you have a blessed week, and let's go ride.